So, what do we got? What's new? We all know what's new. It's this thing I've been really excited about, VMAR.
VMAR is definitely new. Start at the beginning and go through. Sounds fantastic. VMAR Strike. Our first model, our shortest model. Let me just grab a mag. So, starting tip to butt. 14mm CCW. One piece in a barrel. Polymer handguard. GBB rubbers, so if you want to use, or hop-up rubbers, so if you want to use your flamingos, any aftermarket things you can. We're looking to release it with an end pass coming locked to 0.98 of a joule, but obviously being an end pass, you'll be able to tailor it for what region, what site you play on, and also what gas and what environment you find yourself in. So you can set it with the end pass. One of the things we're really excited about, TDC feature, so you can adjust your hop unit without splitting down the rifle.
So I'm going to
go for it. Ask all the way. I'm really fast. Yeah.
It's a question about the TDC screw. I know it's one that people have already asked me. Yeah. How secure is the TDC screw? Is there any slop in it? Is it going to stay where you put it?
So between where the pin and the actual cuts in the actual unit itself, there's a little bit of wobble, but the pin itself, where it connects to the unit, that will not move. We also have in development and working at the moment a full CNC hop unit as well. So things like that are in production and have been thought about and will be on their way in not too long.
So no more sloppy TDC with the hop being on, off.
As best as we can get it, we're looking to produce the most accurate, the most direct system that we can for the most consistent and cost-effective MSRP. We're looking to get as many people into gas blowback as possible, and we feel this is a really good entry into that. So we've spoken about the end pass, we've spoken about the GB. Oh, the barrel will also be GBB cut. So
yeah. Definitely gas blowback cut and not VSR cut. Very
GBB
important
cut,
distinction.
GBB cut.
Not a problem. Again, I'm not sure if you saw earlier, but with our bolt, hardened insert on the front, removable, replaceable. Will increase the life of your bolt.
And will the replacements be available at launch?
Of course, they'll be available at launch. I've made sure to have as many spare parts available as possible from launch, because we've all had that thing where we're unable to get, what am I doing?
Same thing that I do every time I play mates.
It's been a great day. So yeah, we've gone for the bolt. We have the hardened insert at the front, the end pass, the TDC, obviously our magazines MWS compatible. Now on to some cooler features. Magazine release, ambidextrous. Yeah, bolt release, ambidextrous, hold open and release. Fire selector, ambidextrous.
And what if someone doesn't want the ambidextrous controls?
Well, the great thing is that if you don't want them, unbolt them, blanking plate straight on top, which we're looking to support and provide, so that if you don't want it ambi, you can remove certain bits and pieces and blank them off. Again, these are pre-production prototypes or early production prototypes, so certain features may change as we go along, but this is mostly the final form. There are a few other fantastic things to do with this as well, apart from just the ambi. We've reworked our grip, so now we have a completely new grip, fully compatible with our other models, so onto our VMP2s, but we really like the new grip. We have a new team here at Nuprol, so we've added our own sort of flair and our own design interpretations of what we think is really great. And this is one of our favorite things, the new grip. But of course, I've tested it with multiple grips on the market, so if you have a favorite, yeah, one bolt straight in, bit of Loctite, and you're good to go. Trigger is going to be adjustable in 3 separate ways, not on every model, but certainly on the DMR model. Travel, reset, and then the weight of pull as well. The hop arm is going to be CNC at the moment. This means that we won't get any flex in the hop arm, and it means that we can hop heavier weight BBs realistically straight out the box. We're looking at having about 3.0 to 3.2 is about the sweet spot for GBB. Propane, green gas, 2.0, 3.0 for best results based upon your temperature, but it will do what you want it to.
Excellent. And how easy is it to adjust the trigger?
Trigger is pretty standard. 3, I'm not sure if it's on this model, but on that model, 3 screws in from there, Allens in and out, bit of Loctite, and you're good to go.
So you don't need to remove the trigger group at all. You can do it all with it in situ, or
At the moment, yes. At the moment, yes. You can go straight in externally and do it, but we may, as I said, pre-production models. But at the moment, that's what we're going for.
So another question that people are going to be wanting to know as well, materials-wise, what are we looking at here?
Alley, upper and lower.
Yep.
Steel insert on the bolt, and then polymer everywhere else. Magazines are obviously going to be available in the full metal or in the PMag style, both lengths. And we have other things, interesting things coming forward in the future. Brilliant, perfect. So we have more interesting things coming forward in the future. We also have a short stroke bolt in development that I was shooting 2 weeks ago. And we also have a heavyweight bolt, or heavy recoil bolt as well in development, which we're working on and is currently functioning and working. I shot that last week or a couple of weeks ago. And we have 3 recoil springs that are going to be available as well. This gives you, the end user, the opportunity to tailor your setup for how you like it based upon your conditions.
And more importantly though, you're also going to be willing to work with the community in order to develop even more so. So if someone comes up with an idea...
Please tell me. Please tell me. Because, I mean, obviously, I'm sure you're as aware if you're following excellent channels such as Sabre Airsoft, you will have seen certain community projects coming forward. Well, now, that community project, unfortunately, is just a 3D print and someone was a bit heavy-handed earlier. But we're listening to the community. We're excited for the future. This was a project that took off fancy, and Sabre and Amethyst Alice were kind enough to print one up and send it to me. I thought it was so cool. So if you like it, there is a possibility, you need to talk more seriously, but there is a possibility that if you like it, we may end up making this as a full product. But this is dependent on the community, the creators involved, and if they'd be happy with that. We're not going to do anything without this. But this is just an example of community listening, community feedback. Yeah, a couple other secret squirrel things that maybe haven't been announced too much. There will be an insert for this so that you can contain the tools to take down your rifle inside the grip. And there is also another one in work that's going to have 2 CR123As in there so that if your sight goes down, you can just whip one out and you can go get back up and running, no problems at all. See, as we move forward, we have numerous different models. So next model, similar functionality, similar features. Oh, one of the things I forgot to mention is that dependent on what you're into, you may or may not want a forward assist. So it's removable.
You can see that there, just you can see the outline of it there. That's the blanking plate that you put in to replace it.
Obviously, pre-production models, tolerances will be tightened. I've been to my factory and have shot the newer generations and iterations of these exact rifles, and then made recommendations upon those again. So we got these out to make sure we had something fantastic to show at IWA. They're fully functional, they're working with our mags, they work great. They shoot. I've just had to get them set for the trade show. But it's an exciting project.
So this is the DMR version. Obviously,
DMR
that's
version.
the same handguard as what you'd find on a VMP2D.
Yeah, we wanted to keep the consistency across the range to show that where we come from and more specifically where we're going. Magazine available. British company, British design.
So on the subject of magazines, you knew this question was going to come. What is... Now, you say that these work with every MWS variant that you've been able to get your hands on?
As we can test.
Yep.
We've tested them on the vast majority of GBBs on the MWS system, and we've had positive results. Obviously, end users, certain people may have had different things, but the reality is I know from my testing, from the testing in Hong Kong, the testing at the factory, on my personal rifles, my director's rifles, they are exactly what you want. They hold more rounds, and they're more cost effective than what's on the market at the moment.
And on the subject of the weight of the magazines as well.
Okay, so great question. So we obviously at Nuprol, we work airsoft is primarily, but there are many, many groups of individuals who are interested in real steel training, and they are coming to choose airsoft platforms to do that. Now, our magazines are available in a few different versions, sizes, lengths, all that colorway, all that stuff. However, the reason that the first generation of mags is designed to be as robust, heavyweight, reliable as possible. They're also plus or minus a certain amount 2 real steel P-mags loaded in 5.56. Now, that may or may not be of any interest to airsofters, but for certain clientele, for certain people who are purchasing these rifles worldwide, correct weight is very, very, very important for what they're doing. As a point to that, obviously we've released them with polymer rails, but should you wish to put on real steel, full metal, absolutely no problem at all.
And that's because these are all mil-spec?
Mil-spec pins are into here, so you've got the AR lower pins in the correct place. Mil-spec as best as we could possibly get it for the end user MSRP.
So you're not just going to be doing heavy mags though, are you? You're also doing the lighter weight ones?
So obviously specifically for airsofters and other people, look, we've all played, we know that the weight of the mags can add up to a lot. You're running 6 to 10 mags plus the weight of the rifle. So yes, there are lighter weight mags for the future as we're coming along. But at the moment, the real steel, the real weight, the max realism is what we're going for at the moment. But of course, I'm a player, I play airsoft. So of course I'm going to want something a little bit lighter. Of course I'm going to want a little bit more gas efficiency. Of course I'm going to want just a few more rounds. Well, this will do it for you.
And how many rounds do the regular mags hold versus the short mags?
So you're looking, publicly, you're looking around about 40 rounds. But realistically, I can put 45 into this without damaging it or damaging the spring.
That's pretty impressive to be able to just cram 45 in it. I wouldn't recommend it to people, but...
No, obviously, but again, 40 is the number.
Yep.
But upon testing, you can do certain things. At home, at your choice, it's your product. You can have fun with it at home. Same thing with the lower ones, about 20 rounds, they'll take 25.
Yeah, so another thing as well, this does come from Jaeger Precision's video.
Yeah, great, go for it.
Which is, can we see the inside without the sleeve on?
Of course.
And see why you're able to cram that many more in.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. So that straight channel is actually why you can fit more in, because you're no longer restricted by a lot of things. This is the steel mag.
Yeah.
This casing here, is that steel?
I'll have to double check and get a magnet. I'll have to find out, I'll have to double check. I'm not sure because I've got so many magazines out here at the moment. I've sort of got a little bit confused between this one's the light one, this one's that, this one's that. Yeah. But yeah, we can get a magnet and test it, you know. But there is a full length bolt and things like this.
Yeah, that
so it's going to be ferrous. Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
On the point of the mags, just as a little extra, obviously you can feed them through the feed lips, absolutely fine, using any standard speed loader, as in the video you mentioned previously. But we also have speed loader adapter. It's going to come in the box, so if you don't have one or you lose it, you've always
it's coming with an adapter.
Yeah, you no longer have to buy a secondary aftermarket third-party adapter.
So does that come with the magazines?
No,
or
it comes
does
with the rifle.
With the rifle.
With
So
the rifle.
when you purchase a rifle, it comes with an adapter. That's brilliant.
Yeah. The other thing is as well is that if for any reason you lose this, you can load through the body. Absolutely fine. Perfect. Especially for those who a bit difficult. But the other thing is as well is if you have a standard pistol speed loader with the standard attachment that comes with it, you can load with that absolutely fine. You don't need a special adapter. You don't need a special speed loader. It should work with what you have at home.
That's brilliant. And are these going to be available to purchase separately?
At the moment, these are just prototypes.
Yeah.
As I said, I came back a couple of weeks ago. I don't see why not that these could be released. But as I said, you actually don't specifically need to buy ours to actually run our mags. What you have at home will work. You don't need to buy anything special. And then of course with the secondary loading port on the back, that solves all the issues. You know, if you just want to get handfuls and you're just garden plinking, then yeah, you can do that as well.
And are there going to be any recommendations for using these mags with other MWS models?
At the end of the day, we've tried to make them as compatible with as many MWS systems across the market as possible. Obviously, certain design tolerances and manufacturing tolerances on other people's rifles we cannot control. But so far, on the vast majority of rifles we have tested so far, not only do they fit and function well, they feed well, no problems. I have multiple videos of them working on salvos, Noveskis, DEs, TMs, shooting videos of mine functioning in the workshop that some people have seen already. So yeah, it's the future is bright and we're very excited here, and we're really, really excited to collaborate with the community, because the reality is that it's only through understanding the relationship with the community of players that we can produce better products, we can produce better quality projects. But also, you could say to me, hey Dan, it'd be really nice if this tolerance was just a little bit, give me some good engineering user feedback. And guess what? You might find that in 3 months, maybe 6, dependent on production, you might find that feature is now in there.
Yeah.
So
I've already seen that firsthand with the change to the VMP2.
yes, VMP2 changes are slowly, well not slowly, but they are happening behind the scenes. We haven't announced everything to everyone, but yes, there has been some significant changes to the VMP2 range internally and in a few other interesting places. But we can have a look at those in a moment if you like.
Yeah.
But
so, on launch, how many models are there going to be?
4 models to start with. Short, medium, slightly longer, and then DMR specific. Rifles will be available, I think, black, tan, grey, blue. However, for IWA, we thought let's do something a bit special. So this is my choice. We put this together specifically for the show. So if you like this colour, if you're excited about this, let us know. Write in the comments, let us know. There's a good possibility we can make this happen for real. But also as an extra, everyone's got different opinions on aesthetics. Would you as the community like the 3D files for this?
I think we'd
like to make your
absolutely
own?
love the 3D files for it.
No problem. So if you want to make your own mag covers, you want to make your own designs, fantastic. We'd love to see the innovation moving forward.
Definitely down for that. And as much as I do want to get myself one of these, I have a feeling I'm going to end up purchasing one of these.
Yes.
Because I am a lazy man and I like to sit at the back, and the DMR is a good gas blowback DMR. It's all he needed.
Yes.
So
Full length barrel, suppressor obviously onto the end, end pass, all the stuff we spoke about. So obviously, based upon your BB weight, what you're hopping, the compatibility with good quality GBB rubbers, whichever you wish to do, you can then, to your heart's content, suit it for your sight limit for where you play and what region you're in.
yeah,
Because not everyone is super lucky with super high level dual limits.
so far, everything that I've seen of this, I don't think I'm going to have to design much, which is
I welcome your feedback and the community's feedback, particularly the VMP owners group who, let's face it, have supported us through a lot, and I'm incredibly excited to have those individuals with us moving forward, because at the end of the day, it's going to make the product better. It's going to make the end user experience better, and that's going to make everything for everyone much, much better.
So there you go, guys. You heard it here first. I'm going to post that in that group, and you know I am.
Hey, look,
They need to hear it. They are a great bunch of guys, and they are always helpful to each other. And it's important that they know that you guys are there and you are listening and reading what they post.
UK designed. We are available. We're listening 9 to 5, 5 days a week. Just it's got to come through the proper channels.
Yeah.
And as long as it comes through the proper channels, we will listen. We will hear, and we can change. We can update, we can improve.
You have already changed, in my opinion.
Thank you very much. As you may or may not know, there was a previous team at NewPro. Now there's a new team at NewPro. New direction, new power, new knowledge. Yeah, really excited for the future.